Hello, folks. We are sponsored by Next Gen Power. If you don't know what Next Gen Power is about, they provide green energy solutions powered by the sun. So you can save money and reduce your carbon footprint in doing so. Now, with rising costs on fuel, we're all feeling the pinch at the moment. You can take control of your monthly costs in your home or business and save up to 70% on your energy bills while doing so. So check it out, their website at nextgenpower.uk, get a free quote, and hopefully we can save you some money. Hello and welcome to the He Doesn't Want a podcast. We are focusing on the Junior Cup semi-finalists this week, and the first guy I have here is player manager for Strathroy Harps, Benny Boyle. Benny, how are you keeping it?
I'm keeping the best, Gary. Thank you.
How's your preparation for the game? Being to see you play Harryville on Wednesday night, is it? Stanmore Park, Dungannon?
Yeah, Wednesday night, Stanmore, 8 o'clock kickoff. Preparation has been good, bar weather's been poor for games recently. We've had a game called off last week, and then we had no game at the weekend there with the game on Wednesday. But preparation before that's good. We stuck on a friendly there last week against a good Strabane intermediate side, and it's a good test. And we played Enniskillen Athletic the week before, won comfortably enough. So preparation has been good, all good at the minute, full squad, and happy with the way prep's going so far anyway.
The opponents have on Wednesday night. You beat them in the quarterfinal stage last year, am I right? And it obviously looked like a close game when I seen the score. How was it on the day?
Actually, I think it was the round before the quarters.
Was it right? Okay.
Yeah, it was a cracking game. We were at home down at the Oma Leisure Centre, and we went down 2-0 after 2 minutes, or 10 minutes, sorry. We went down 1-0 after 2 minutes, and we're 2-0 down after 10, and it took every resolve we had to come back and claw it back. And we were 3-2 up at half time, and it was close, nip and tuck, physical game, and we just come out on the better side of it that day.
Yeah.
We know what we're up against with Harryville. Years ago, whenever they were on the top team to beat in it, and we were as well. We've had a couple of ding dongers with them, so it's not unfamiliar playing Harryville, to be honest. So I think both teams will know what they're coming up against.
Yeah, you look at the Junior Cup and you look at the last 8 quarterfinals, the last 4 then as well. There seems to be a lot of similar teams, and obviously yourselves last year, you beat the semi-final stage last year as well. You have won the competition twice before, but that was a decade ago now since your last win. So it's always been something which your club's been involved in. In terms of last year's semi-final defeat, do you think that gives you a wee bit more impetus to push on this year?
Well, I suppose, Gary, it was my first year was involved as management as taking over full reins of the management, and I had said to the boys, that competition had meant a lot to our club, and there was a lot of history in it, and but trying to get that point across at the start, and it's very hard for a new manager maybe to do that, and I don't think it was no fluke that we got the semi-finals, and then when we're back again this year, although I had to do a wee bit of rebuilding in the summertime, our squad last year was a wee bit short and numbers a bit, and quality on the bench and stuff like that. So we gathered our thoughts over the summer, and we said we knew where we had to strengthen, and we did, and brought in some youth from our own squads and a couple of youth from outside, and the lads have really bought into what I'm trying to do, and my assistant manager and another lad that helps us out as well are trying to do, and they bought into it, and we've just rid the crest of a wave again. We're back in the semi-final, so it's good in my part, that last year wasn't really a fluke, because you hear these things, and we avoided this team and you avoided that team, but this year, we've had a tough run of it. We're back in the semi-finals, and the plan is to go even better, so hopefully we can get over the line on Wednesday.
Yeah, because it's easy to say that people getting the semi-finals tough no matter who you play, but you've beat the likes of two A teams in St Matthews and Ben Madigan.
Beat some Mats, some Mats come down and were flying in their amateur league, and we convincingly beat them. Once the game settled, we convincingly beat them. We were a wee bit of level above them. We beat Chumray, who are league leaders, league holders, sorry, and they're flying in our league this year as well. Beat them 1-0 in the round before. We beat Ben Madigan away in the second round, which was a big one. It kick-started us, it kick-started the belief in the young fellas. We went up to Ben Madigan and beat them 3-0, although their man sent off midway through the first half. But we were up 1-0 at that point, and we were going very well and we're strong. Probably should have beat them by more, and
Yeah.
We've had tough fixtures, although we've had a wee bit of luck in the draw with getting a lot of home fixtures as well. But when you went to Ben Madigan and beat them away from home Belfast side in a 4G pitch on a one-day bad day, come away from that day, we knew we were going to stay in this competition long, if you know what I mean, without getting too arrogant or cocky on the thing, But it's been going good. It's been going good in the cup. Our league form's been a bit sketchy at times with certain men missing and resting fellas for cup games and stuff like that. But this cup is something special with Strathroy Harps, and it just seems to bring the best out in everybody.
Yeah, it's one of those things as well. You mentioned your league former. Obviously, you compete in a really tough league. Like you could name off the teams that you compete with on a really namely basis, which will always be there or thereabouts when it comes to cup competitions as well. So it's a very strong division. So anybody can beat anybody on their day, but your league form is something you've still a lot of games they have to play. Is it something you're going to try and focus on after the cup's finished, whether it be semi-final, final, and still finishing as high as you can in the league?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah,
It doesn't sit well with me. I've said in a couple of different interviews, local interviews and stuff. I know, with 5, 6 maybe games in hand on some of the teams. I'm aiming at my aim at the start of the season was to be up there and around the mix of the top 3 or 4. And
yeah,
we have to go on a run of games. I know we do to be up there, but the team sitting set 8th or 9th in the leagues, doesn't reflect the team that I have there. So yeah, there will be a push on to get up the league, whenever there's games to be played. When they're played now, I don't know when
yeah,
it'll be played because, after on Wednesday night, then we have quarterfinals of our own cup on the Saturday, so we'll have no league game then, and then with the clock turning, and there'll be midweek games, and
yeah.
we have a wee bit of shuffling, a wee bit of thinking to do over the next few weeks, but it's all good, if you're in a final of a junior cup and you're in a semi-final of your own cup, I don't think there'll be too many men not wanting to play. So
Yeah.
it's a good position to be in, So and happy to be in it. But there's a lot of football to be played yet in the season.
How do you find playing player manager? It's obviously a tough role, but you have to trust your assistants to take it on the sideline.
To be honest, I've been asked that a lot, and I'm
Yeah,
playing where I play at centre back. The only person I can't see is my goalkeeper,
yeah,
and I find it actually easier to play and manage than stand and watch than manage. To be quite honest,
yeah,
I know I have a lot of thinking to do and a lot of analysing to do myself, but I seem to be able to cope with it all right, and there's Seamus Fanthorpe who played and managed the Strathroy Harps to the Junior Cup before. We seemed to be able to do it. And Mickey Kerr was the same whenever he's playing with Rangers. But I have good men on the line with me, that they're fit to tell me, things that I don't see. And to be honest, I think when we talk at half time or during games, we're all in the same wavelength. So,
yeah.
we don't miss much at the same time, and it seems to work. There's a good combination there. It seems to work pretty well.
Yeah. Well, I suppose if you become a manager of a team while you're a player, then people see your leadership qualities, then it doesn't really change much what you do in the pitch because you're doing it anyway. I suppose, even though you would have had a manager previously on a sideline when you weren't manager.
Yeah, well, I suppose that's right. I captain Strathroy myself, and
Yeah,
I've been playing with them, I suppose, 8 or 9 years now. And I'm probably, there's maybe 3 or 4 of us left that are in that later stages of their career, and I suppose try to set an example by playing, and I try not to get involved too much, but it's hard at times, just
yeah,
maybe you're trying to be a manager or trying to be a player. It has a wee bit, but you get used to that, and the longer it goes on that you're playing and managing, you kind of shuffle it around, and you have to sometimes count to 10 maybe
yeah.
before you say anything, But look, it works, and hopefully it'll work and get us over the line and get us a couple of cups, because I think this team's ready for some silverware.
Long term for the club, obviously, you've had your junior cup success previously. You've also had a period of league success, winning 3 out of 4 years. But since then, the league has dropped off, but you're still competing in the cups. Is it trying to get everything to come together? You don't want to be just a league team. You don't want to be just a cup team. You want to be able to play and compete on a weekly basis and try and win every competition out there.
Yeah, well, I suppose there's very few who's been able to win our league and win Junior Cup and Mulherron Cup. As you
Yeah,
alluded to earlier. the standard of the leagues is very, very strong. There's, I think maybe by this last couple of years, like any team of 5 or 6 could have won it, but the last couple of years you've had Chumray and Enniskillen Town and Dergview's probably been the teams that were nailed on to win the leagues, but this year and maybe last year, you have the like of ourselves and Cash, and we've had Berra pushing strong, and anybody's been pushing well in them league, and anybody can beat anybody on their day. It just seems to be, if you avoid each other in the cups, we seem to, the Fermanagh Western teams go far in it.
Yeah.
And it is a very strong league. Like, I think it's because there's no maybe real senior football down this neck of the woods that makes junior football so strong. I know you have Dergview and you have Ballinamalard, but it's a wee bit, almost seems to be in a place where, that junior football is really strong because there's no senior football in the town anymore, so which is good, because like I've been asked before about us going intermediate, and we play intermediate teams there, and the travel you'd have to do from Oma and stuff to get, but men with families and stuff, that you'd be way early in the morning, not home late at night, and we're playing in a very strong league and in a very competitive league. I don't think the intermediate football is really for us or for many teams down this way, because of maybe the cost of the thing as well, because it takes a lot to run an intermediate club, from scratch, and to get it up and going. I think when you play at the standard we play in, and it's just failed to keep playing in this league, but as to one leagues and win cups, you have to be able to compete at the top of this Division 1 in Fermanagh Western, and if you're able to do that, you'll go well in all the cup competitions as well. So that's kind of the plan in the future anyway, so far. So
in terms of you said earlier, there's been a couple of player managers before have went on and won the Junior Cup from down the Fermanagh Western Leagues. Do you think that's a good omen or a good saying going forward?
Well, I hope it is, Gary. It seems to have worked for a few. As I said, Seamus Fanthorpe before me, and Mickey Kerr with Rangers and Enniskillen Rangers, whenever they were going strong in the Junior Cup, they won 3 in a row. Mickey was a big part of playing and manager, and he was manager at the time as well. So hopefully them things might come round again to me and Strathroy Harps. I'll not refuse it anyway.
Yeah. So I hope you're going to bring a strong squad down to Stanmore Park, a strong support down is on Wednesday night, I take it.
Yeah, well, that's one thing about Strathroy. Anywhere they go, they're very strongly supported. Even our own home games and stuff like that. We get good crowds out, and the neutrals would always come to watch us as well. So yeah, I expect a big crowd at Stanmore on Wednesday night. Hopefully cheering us on. So although I think with it being a Wednesday night and stuff, we've 2 buses going, but there's a lot of people traveling in cars as well, because it's only up in Dungannon. So yeah, there'll be a big noise in Stanmore come Wednesday night.
Yeah, and then if you do win and get to the final, you know a good bit about both teams that are in your semi-final. Obviously, Coleinan last year, eventual winners beat us in the semi-final. And then, of course, Dergview Reserves are in the same league as you. So you've a lot of familiarity there as well in the other game.
Yeah, both 2 quality sides. That'll be a ding donger on Tuesday night. I'll be probably go and watch that myself now. Coleinan, a team that have a lot of qualities, a lot of strong, physical, fit Gaelic men playing through that team, and we were very unlucky not to beat them last year. Penalty in the last kick of the game puts us out, but hopefully we'll be there to meet one of them, and we'll be well prepared. Whoever we meet, Dergview, we played them in the league once this year. They beat us 1-0 over there. They're a stronger side than can play in the junior. They have a lot of players cup tied, for the junior cup that have played at a higher level last year. So, either side, I don't really mind who we play as long as we're there, and it's you have a bit of an advantage having played both to do your homework on, So
get through Wednesday night first of all, take it.
We have to get through Wednesday night first. That's the aim, and then we'll worry about who it is after that.
Brilliant, mate. Thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it, and best of luck in the game. I wish you the best of luck in the competition. If you have 1 or 2 games left, and good luck.
All right, thank you very much, and good luck with your podcast. Hey, fair play to you.
Cheers, thank you.
All
Thanks.
right, thank you. Good luck.
Hello folks, this episode is sponsored by Pizza Co. Pizza Co have 5 stores delivering across Belfast, Lisburn and Glengormley, and you can find them on their website at thepizzaco.co.uk, or the Pizza Co app was available in the app stores. They have many deals, but the best deal for me would have to be Matey Monday, which is buy one get one free every single Monday. Not only is it good value, but their pizzas and sides taste great also. So check it out, you won't be disappointed. I'm here with Rob Dottie, who is the manager of Harryville Homers. Rob, how are you keeping, matey? All good?
All good, Gary. Yourself?
I'm great, thank you very much. I'm glad to have you on. I've never had a representative from your league in general before, so it's been great to get you on and have a chat. And obviously, you have a big game coming up this week, Junior Cup semi-final.
Yeah, we're very much looking forward to that. So we are against an old foe, Strathroy Harps. We played them in a final way back in 2012, and they beat us comfortably that day, 3-0 up in Castle Dawson. They were a great side. I think they dipped a wee bit from that, but I think they're on the way back again. We played them again last year, and I think it might have been the last 16 of the Junior Cup down there. That was a funny old game. We were actually 2 goals to the good, and within 5 or 10 minutes, I think we were 3-2 down. So it was a mad wee game that it was, but we ended up losing 4-3. But hopefully we can get a monkey off the back come Wednesday.
Yeah, you get this stage of the competition, the Junior Cup, and there's a lot of old foes teams come across, because it does seem to be a lot of teams are like yourselves are synonymous with the Junior Cup. Strathroy are another club like that. They're previous winners. After Strathroy beat you in that final in 2012, was it 3 years back to back? Harryville went on to win it as well.
Yeah, because we never envisaged that. We got the first final. I thought maybe we'll never do this again, and we've just missed out. Well, we're probably well beaten on the day.
Yeah.
So I thought, will we ever get this far again? And then the following, it just snowballed after that. We seemed to take that competition and our own and moved on gradually with it. We got to the final next year. 3 years in the bounce. We're actually in the final 4 years in the bounce. We lost the first one and won the next 3. So it was a great time for us.
It's obviously now, I take it, there's not many players left from that generation. It's a new generation of players, and
it is. We're sort of a team in transition at the minute. And don't get me wrong, we still have a couple of guys from that period over there. Whether obviously 10 years younger, they're getting into sort of their early mid-30s now. They are, but they're still good enough, and they're training hard, and they're still hungry for it. So we try and keep those boys in there for experience. With a couple of great young fellas playing for us now too. So if we can build upon that and bring another couple of young fellas in, it would be great going forward. Like,
do you think it's important to see the young fellas coming in? Do you think it's important that the likes of yourself and players who've been there, done that, not only they lean on their experience in these big games, but also show them how important the competition even just is to Harryville as a club?
100%. You need those guys there that need and regale stories of what they've won. It just gives the younger fellas a wee bit of insight to what it takes to go that far in competitions like that. That's a it's a pre-ribbon competition of junior football, and everybody wants to play in it. So everybody wants to get the latter stages and hopefully win it. But as I say, there's plenty of good teams and plenty of good players up and down the years that never got near it. But we find ourselves very fortunate. I always try to emphasise that to our players too. You find yourselves very fortunate that they've got that thus far and playing as many finals as that. It's testament to them too, mind you. They're good players, hungry for the competition, but it's a great achievement, and they are very, very fortunate to have played so many finals in it.
Just in general,
fellas there, they have a look around our changing room. There's pictures of those days going by and stuff like that, and there's players telling them how good it is the older players tell them how good it is to be involved and all that. And I think we've bought into it pretty much now. So there's too many older players there with too much experience to let young fellas can be like some weeks can take it or leave it, but they'll not get that at the Hummers. They have to be all in or all out, as I say.
Yeah.
The young fellas have bought into it pretty well now, I have to say.
Just in general, like obviously the club must as a whole have a winning mentality, because this season not only do you have a junior cup, you have a junior shield semi-final against Belmadigan to look forward to, and then even your league form, although you're playing catch up, you have a lot of games to play, you've only one defeat in the league, so you're on some form this season in general. Obviously now it's getting to the crunch time, but do you think that form you have had so far at this point of the season, it's going to carry in good stead coming in the latter stages?
I think so, Gary, yeah. The start of the season there, we signed a couple of good young players, and we signed a big experienced fellow there too, like Randall Reid, played up front. But as soon as we got him in, he got injured. Well, that's been a story like that for most of the season. We're actually just talking about this the other night, how well we've actually done to go this far with the injuries we've had, because we lost our main centre half there, George Young. He's out for the rest of the season. He needs an operation. And the other big centre half, David Gibson, he was out for a long time too. Our midfielder, literally only Gary Baird only came back. He's played his first match of the season yesterday. He got 40 minutes after a knee injury. Yeah. There's another couple of lads. It's just we seem to be getting one back and losing two. And but it's amazing how well we've all stuck together and got ourselves on this run. So hopefully we've passed that. We're over that wee bit of bottle up, and we get everybody back, and we are in a great vein of form at the minute. So I'm just hoping everybody stays injury free and we can continue it on, because I think we've got maybe 10 league games left, and the two big semi-finals to come on. Possibly there's another 2 domestic cup competitions to play in too. So I think there's anywhere of if we're get a good run of those cups, we'll probably be playing another 24 games before the end of May. So it's nearly another season to play and to squeeze into 2 months. But it's a big enough squad hopefully to cope. So fingers crossed carry the form into those games.
It comes to a stage of the season where you're almost a victim of your own success. The stronger you are in the cup competitions, the more games you have to play, the harder it is to juggle your squad overall, the harder it is to keep everybody fit as well.
Exactly, Gary. That's a problem. And then you come in, maybe the bright nights are coming in, you maybe can end up in 2 or 3 games a week, and that's when you pick up the injuries. So that's where you need the numbers, if you like, in the squad to try and fill holes where somebody's injured or somebody's maybe lost a bit of form or something. But no, it's a headache in one instance, but it's a good headache to have too, because if you're not having those headaches, you're not really doing well. So that's where it defeats the whole purpose of what you're trying to achieve in the start of the season.
In terms of Strathroy, you obviously have a lot of history with Strathroy. Have you had much of an opportunity to see them this season? Do you know what to expect from them? Or
yeah, we had a couple of our lads went down and had a look at them the other week, and the one that we know what we're going to get with Strathroy. They're a very, very good team, really are. And it'll be a battle from start to finish, of no doubt, because they know what it takes to win the Junior Cup, and so do we. So everybody will be up for that one, I'm sure, both sides, and it'll be an interesting one. That will be, but it's all the hallmarks here of a good semi, like. So here's hoping.
I think looking at the final 4, obviously when you get this stage of competition, there's no easy games, but it's a very strong 4. Like you've also Dergview Reserves, who's going well in the Fermanagh and Western. You've last year's winners as well still in the competition. So if you do manage to get through Strathroy, you have 2 really strong teams in the other semi-final. Will you get a chance to go down and watch that on Tuesday night as well?
I was just funny enough, I was speaking to the assistant manager this morning, Garen. I said, if our match had been first, then we were lucky enough to get through it and into the final, I would have loved to went down and watched Coal Island and Dergview. Yeah. But because they were playing in the evening before, I'm a bit superstitious that way. I don't really want to go down there and put the cart before the horse, sort of style. So I'll wait and see if we're lucky enough to get through. listen, you have to beat the best teams to win it anyway, so it doesn't really matter who we play.
Yeah. Will you bring a strong support down to Stanmore Park on Wednesday night?
With a full bus going anyway, and I dare say there'll be people travelling down in cars and stuff too. So we usually bring a good support. I have to say that about the homers, no matter where they are. We always, and even home matches, with our lanes fully packed every week watching the league games. And when we do travel, Junior Cup, Junior Shade, we usually bring a decent crowd with us too. All the boys supporters like to have a wee beer before the game, and usually we end up somewhere after. Well, when we've largely have the win. But no, we will have a good travel contingent, no doubt about that.
Well, you've a lot of a lot of exciting games to look forward to over the next couple of months, and a lot of games in general. So I wish you best of luck, Rob. Thanks very much for your time and coming on.
Brian, Gary, pleasure speaking to you, man.
I'm here with Andrew Sproule, who is the manager at Dergview Reserves. Andrew, how's things, mate? You all good?
Aye, things have been going well. Obviously, it's my first season in charge of Dergview Reserves, so it's kind of been an eye opener from moving from a player into a manager. What work goes involved with, but it's something that I've realised and I've always really wanted to do. Enjoying the coaching side of it, because it's different when you're kind of a player. You're going, everything's kind of set up. You're there now, and you have to take charge of stuff. So enjoying that and wanting to learn more in that avenue. So and yeah, it's been good so far now. I can't complain, like that.
Obviously, with the other teams you have in the Junior Cup semi-finals, you're the only reserve team there, so it's a bit of a different dynamic for you. How do you find the dynamic reserve team? Obviously, your first team competing in the championship, strong side, and how do you find that?
It's something. It's always been in Derby's DNA, the Fermanagh Western. So it is, it's where the club had started originally. Just being that there was a 25th anniversary of them winning the Mulhern Cup. So there was a wee function on Saturday night, and it was nice to go and watch that and look back at the history of the club. So it was, the foundations where they started. So coming in as a reserve team, look, you'll have managers saying, "Oh, he's got first team. He can get players dropping down," but it hasn't really been that for us. We've always seen the Fermanagh Western as a good stepping stone for players that want to progress and want to challenge themselves at that higher standard. So it is, and it's probably took us a wee while there, because I would say, hand in heart, most of our focus has been in progression with the first team, and because when you're playing in that higher league, so it is sometimes you can drift away from with our reserves and our thirds, and it be that bit harder. So it does, So we're trying to install that back into it, where we're getting ourselves back on the platform in the Fermanagh Western again, and progressing in the cups and doing really well as our youth set as well. So there's been a lot of work kind of put in place now to kind of put them foundations back where they should be, So no, it's hard work now. So it is. It's very hard work, but it's something that I'm enjoying,
Yeah, the Fermanagh Western League itself it's one of, if not the strongest junior division you have, and realistically, a lot of those teams could play intermediate football at certain levels. So it's not only do you have a strong team in the championship, your guys are competing at a really high level as well, that most reserve teams across the country can't do. So it's a testament to yourselves of how strong you are as a reserve team.
Yes, and look, I've tried to Colin Robson, who managed last year, and he's a great friend of mine, and a massive club man, and he's still involved with us, like he's actually playing for us. So he put in a lot of hard work, to kind of stabilise that situation, and then obviously last year he wanted to kind of step down for a wee bit. His family commitments and stuff, and he's still highly involved with the club, and avenues, and just whenever I kind of took over, I wanted to kind of strengthen our reserves that wee bit more, just add to our squad that we have, and to freshen up and to bring in some youth with experience, which I've tried to do the year, just to try and stabilise it, because we were just pipped last year in the league, so we didn't have really that good a cup run in my eyes last year, and it's something that I wanted to change, to change our cup form, because I always thought in our squad and our depth of added that we could stay in a good run in the league as well, So it's something that I worked hard on the year, you know, was to try and progress as much as we possibly can in the cups. And you know yourself, sometimes like we're a bit unfortunate on the Mulherron Cup there, so we're a few weeks ago. But in the Irish Junior, we've had a good rhythm on it, you know, and we've had a good balance to our team in that, you know. So our run's been quite good. So it is coming into that. So no, it's something as a manager I wanted to kind of nail down, you know, was the progression and that kind of way, like.
Yeah, and another thing is as well, you've got this stage Irish Junior Cup. It becomes harder as well if you do have any regular second team players who have previously played for the first team or different competitions they may have played in this season. Are you affected in any way by that?
Yes, look, there would be. Yes, there would be a few. Like, so there would obviously be playing with the first team and stuff like that there. So there would, you know, that would be effective, you know. So it was, and then because a few of the lads wanted to step down and play with me the year, so they did, you know, just to try and get regular football, you know. And it's a tough route, some of them rules in that Irish Junior, you know. So it is, because as you just hit the nail on the head there, I believe that, you know, there's no real difference between intermediate and from Adam Western.
Yeah.
So there's not, and then some players be cup tied, you know, because of playing on that level and whatnot, and another, and only there just the year that the rule changed for obviously my brother, he was an international, like he wasn't able to play in that for 25 years.
Yeah.
He played international, which was a bit, it's a bit of a.
He can always come back and he's in his 50s.
They changed that rule then to 2 years, you know, which was good, you know. But it's one of those ones you just have to be kind of wary of it, like, so you do.
Yeah. And your league form this season, you're still in with a shout with the league. There's still a lot of games left to play, but you're in a good position to challenge.
Okay, there's a lot of games to be played, so it's kind of been a lot of start-stop for us in the league. So it is, you know, very hard to get the momentum kind of going. With a few games kind of called off, and look, our main focus, my main focus as a manager at the moment is to try and get us through the next round, obviously in the final of the Irish Junior, and then we can put our full concentration onto the league. But it's just, as a manager, you want to try and get a wee bit of momentum going. I would say now when the clock's changing and the time maybe a wee bit brighter, that they will be coming into like Tuesday, Saturday's game, because we're so far behind.
Yeah.
Obviously, Enniscale Town are very strong. I do believe anybody that finishes above them will win the league, like. But it'll be a massive ask for ourselves a year, you know. But look, we'll give it a good rattle. We'll give it a good crack. I've always said whenever I took over, it's going to take the guts of 3 years for me to build a team where I think we can be there and thereabouts, you know, and all stages of the competition, and we can add a real strong challenge to that, you know. At the minute, them plans are still in place, so there. But look, we'll keep the head down, and hopefully we can get a bit of momentum go back into the league then after Tuesday night.
Yeah, and then in terms of the semi-final, you played Coal Island on Tuesday night here. Last year's winners, of course, so very strong side. Do you know much about them? Have you had a chance to look at them yet? Or?
Look, on that lady, I've done a wee bit of homework about them, so I have. Been chatting to a few boys. Went to watch them on Saturday. Look, I wouldn't ride too much on that game on Saturday. They were beat 2-1. I would say there was a few probably getting rested, one thing and another. It was probably, and I would say probably for themselves too. They had themselves, you know, they had a real good run of games coming into this competition. You know, they had a few games kind of called off. You know, so no, hey, look, as we all know in football, cup games, and I guess these days it's all about who turns up on the night. So it is, you know, you can do all the preparation as you want as a manager, and you can look at this and you can analyse this here, but on them nights it's about who turns up. And yes, you do like to do a wee bit of homework and a wee bit of schooling about the team you're playing, you know. But in my eyes, and as long as I've been playing, it's about them key moments in games turning up, and hopefully we've more players than they have that can turn up and do it on the night.
Yeah, I always find these big games, semi-finals and finals, it's not always the best team that wins. It's the team that comes to the occasion more. Do you have enough experience, boys, do you think, to sort of help your younger boys through in a situation like this? Or?
I probably do. I would say I have a lot of experience in there. So I have, you know, a lot of experience. And look, there's like some myself there with a bit of experience. You've Colin Robson have experienced the brother Ivan. He's experienced in these big occasions. You've Johnny Lafferty, and we've a good balance of youth there as well. Young lads there play with no fear. And the skipper and all. Look, it's about playing. It's about not playing to the occasion. It's just playing for the games to get your look. It's like anything. It's to get yourself in the next round to get yourself a crack of one on it. So it is. I know sometimes you can bum these games up, and this and that. But for me, it's looking at it as a game of football. You need to win to get yourself in the next round to have a crack of one on it.
Yeah, and it's not just that. For a lot of players, they never get the opportunity to play in the national stadium. So there's that opportunity as well as not just being a final, but also the opportunity to win silverware.
Yes, and look, just looking at things from last night and from the club's history, it'd be a bit of history in the Mickenfield boys. They've never won the Irish Junior. They've been to 2 finals and beaten them. Right. So look, could this be the third time lucky? Who knows? Yeah. But unfortunately, I'll have to get through the first hurdle. I have whole island who are no doubt, they have a high pedigree of running it last year, and for them to get themselves to this round again, it can only stand and detriment to them, and to their squad and to their manager, they must have a strong mentality, so they must, So look, it's what I want to do as a manager of Dergview Reserves, is be successful, bring success back to the club again, to try and breed, more into progressing on to that. For me, it's about trying to progress as much youth through into to the first team, so it is, to provide for them there, so it is, so it's always been Derby's mentality to get better and to improve, and just because Derby's in the championship, it's always been our dream to get the Irish League, so it is, no matter how many years it'll take us to do it. That's just always the big dream for us, and it's always been for the club, even when they started off from Adam Weston, can we get better, and can we get better, and can we get better, and keep progressing, and it takes a lot of hard work. We're just kind of reminiscing there a wee bit. You can be hard on yourself at times, as a club. But then when we kind of look back on that final, Mulherm was 25 years ago. It was played at St Julian's Road, and you look how big Omatown was at that time, and Omatown's gone, and it takes a lot of committed people, within the club to keep you where you're at, and that's what we'll keep doing. We'll keep trying to improve and keep trying to get better.
Yeah. Tuesday night, do you think you'll bring a big crowd down, a big support from the club, or?
Hopefully so. It's one of them ones. It's a Tuesday night, and it's people work and stuff and that there. Look, I would say there'll be no doubt that we've had a good fall this year. So we have, even in our home games and our cup games, people come and support us, and all people coming out of the woodwork again. That's got that wee bit of buzz. I think it will definitely be well supported on Tuesday night. Yeah.
Yeah. Looking at the semi-finals in general, you have 4 teams are 3 previous winners. You're the only team that hasn't won the competition so far. So whoever does win their semi-final games, and whoever does get to the final and eventually lift the trophy, will definitely have deserved it after they get through those games.
Look, without a doubt, look, it's been a tough wee running for us in the Irish Junior, like our game on the quarterfinals. It was nip and tuck and hit, so it was, it was very fine margins, and that game, we were 1-0 down, and they happened to get a man sent off, and I felt that was the big swaying point in us, so we did, I know even just before that, we had good pressure on them at that time, but as I say, look, we'll be giving everything on Tuesday night to go out and progress into that final stage, and as you say, to get yourself, for all the players that I have, to get them that opportunity to play in Windsor Park, is massive, and it's a great occasion. Like, I mind as a player, whenever I was playing with the first team, we could draw on against Lumpfield, so we did, and to go up there into Windsor Park and play them, and it was massive. Like, it was a great day for the club, and although we were given a bit of a lesson that day, but it was just a great memories, great memories to see how far you've come on, and I would like to hopefully have that create them wee memories again by getting us to Windsor Park.
Yeah, well, best of luck on Tuesday evening, and if you do get to Windsor Park, I hope to be there myself, and hopefully get a chat with you then if that's the case. So, best of luck, and I wish you really well the rest of the season as well, in your league form also.
No problem. All right.
Thanks very much for your time. Really appreciate it. Cheers.
Perfect. Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks
Take
very
care.
much. Take care.
Okay. Bye-bye.
I just want to say a final thank you to our sponsors, Next Gen Power and Pizza Co. Thank you so much for your support, guys. Without your support, we wouldn't be able to do this. So thanks again.